Hi guys, welcome to Vietchkovsky Tarot with me, Vietchkovsky. I'm just gonna start this video by saying I'm sorry for this kind of angle going on at the moment. You are currently being propped up by olive oil and peanut butter because I don't have a tripod. Today I'm doing a Q&A kind of cup of tea mukbang. Q&A all things tarot and witch related, just because I got a lot of questions that were tarot and witch related, so I was just like, okay, that's fine, I'll just do a tarot and witch related Q&A then. And because I'm so prepared for this, I've actually written down all the questions in my notebook because I'm using my phone as a camera. If you have any more questions, please let me know in the comments, please send me a message, and once I get a bulk of them, I will do another one of these videos because I enjoy these videos. I enjoy just sitting and talking sometimes without reading cards as much as I love reading cards. Okay, so we'll start with how did I get into tarot cards? So basically I got into tarot cards with my sisters buying me a tarot deck for a Christmas present after I had expressed a sort of desire, I guess, to follow this kind of path. I don't want to feed into this idea that you have to be gifted your first deck. It just so happens that I was gifted my first deck, and fortunately they did a really good job. I used the Night Sun Tarot, and immediately, as soon as I picked out the cards, as soon as I started doing readings with them, I connected with it almost instantly, and I had a really comfortable feeling, a really good feeling about the readings that I was getting from the tarot deck, because it almost sometimes feels like it's got a very similar personality to me. Like if I overuse it, it gets very tired and very blunt, and that's what I get like. So it really resonates with me. How to know if a deity is calling to work with you. Now this one is all, again, personal preference. You don't have to work with a deity if you don't want to work with a deity. You can go searching for your own deity if you would so like, but to know if a deity is calling to work with you, I guess I could just quote what someone said to me the other day, which was, when you start listening, the universe will stop screaming. So sort of keep your eye out for recurring themes, recurring symbols, recurring creatures, recurring animals, recurring birds, that's something that almost makes you curious, and then go and research what deity may be affiliated with what you are seeing and what you are being approached by. And if you like it, then proceed. If you feel a connection, then proceed. If you feel comfortable and happy, then proceed. Then don't do something you're not happy or comfortable with. That's my motto. I'd just like to say my dedication to this Q&A. I use my phone to record, obviously, so I wrote them all down in my notebook. How am I? I'm fine. I'm doing really well. How is everyone else? How are you all doing? How are you all holding up? Let me know in the comments what you're up to and what you're doing. If you are going down this pathway and you are practicing tarot or you're practicing witchcraft, let me know what you're up to at the moment as well, and maybe we can do another video on it and we can talk about that. How long did it take to get proficient in readings? It didn't actually take me that long to get proficient in readings. I genuinely found that I really clicked with this tarot deck, that after I did a few readings on myself, because I knew my situation, I did it on my friends because I kind of knew their situations as well, and then I did it on my family because I kind of knew their situations as well. So I find that it's a lot easier to start doing readings with people that you kind of know the background of, so you can actually see the power of the reading, and you can actually see, like, the reading's telling me that they did this in the past, and I know for a fact that they did this in the past, so I'm going to continue and I'm going to just build that confidence. So for me personally, it did not take long at all. Do you base a lot of it on intuition and feel? Yes, I base a lot of my readings on intuition and feel. I will more than likely have each card's keyword in the back of my mind, but when it's laid out in front of me, I will almost immediately hear like a one sentence conclusion and be like, okay, that's what the reading's saying. Now let's delve a little deeper and see how we get to that conclusion. And in terms of feel, you can obviously, when you have a deck or you have a cards laid out in front of you, if it makes you feel uneasy, or if it makes you feel sad, or if it makes you feel positive, or if it makes you feel curious or worried, that is what the reading is trying to tell you. How long did it take you to learn all the cards, be able to do readings and understand what the cards are saying individually as well as with cards that are drawn? Okay, so I'm gonna split that up, right? How long did it take you to learn all the cards? Learning all the cards individually, that took, I basically took a whole afternoon to just go through them individually. This wasn't even really learning them, this was just looking at them, just sort of essentially feeling the energy of each card and feeling whether each card made me feel, whether I liked the cards or whether I hated them. So to look through them, it took me a whole afternoon, but to learn them, that maybe took a couple of months. Being able to do readings, I started doing readings on myself because I knew my background, I knew where I had come from, and I knew what I was doing at the moment. So if the reading resonated with me, I was like, oh, okay, that's great. And then I moved on to reading for friends who I knew the background of. And then when the reading was actually telling me what their background was, I was like, oh, okay, that's correct as well, so that's great. And then I moved on to family and so and so. Okay, to understand what the cards are saying individually, this kind of tied into my afternoon of spending my time with the deck. I'd basically look for I'd look through the keywords, my little booklet, and I'd sort of find a clue, I guess, within the tarot card that could represent the keyword. And that's just how it worked for me. That's just, I know that there are some tarot books out there that say, for example, like the symbol of a horse being progression and stability and like strong progression, like yeah. So I would look for things like that in the cards, and if the keyword was progression, I'd be like, oh, okay, horse is a progression then. And then it would be the same for if there was a dog in it, or if there was just any kind of animal in it, really. And I would just look for recurring symbols, patterns, until I kind of got the gist of each kind of symbol or colour, and then sort of as soon as you start putting them out, you can look for those in the cards and you can be like, oh, this has a horse in it, this means going forward, something like that. But then reading them as cards, other cards that are drawn in a spread, as I said, this is basically on my intuition. I will keep the keyword in mind, but when I see 3 or however many in front of me, it is basically more driven by what I'm thinking about the reading, not what the little book is telling me. And that's just how I feel comfortable doing readings. Obviously, if you are not comfortable basing it solely on what you think and you would rather use the keywords, then it's whatever works for you, really. But personally, that's what works for me, just sort of looking at them and immediately just being like, this. So I guess that kind of concludes my tarot and witchcraft related Q&A. If you have any more questions, as I said, write them in the comments or send me a message. I've got all my links in the description below. We have got Facebook, Twitter, Amino, Instagram. And I think that's all I'm on. If you want your own reading, send me a message. If you want to talk, just send me a message. If you're not having a good time at the moment and you need someone to reach out to, my inbox is always open. I'm always here for a talk or a reading. And yeah, I will be back with Q&As and talking videos in between my tarot readings whenever it seems necessary to. So thank you for joining me again today. I hope you had a cup of tea or something to eat alongside this. So thank you, and I will see you next time.